Back to our top story now. The Germiston Knights railway line on Gauteng's East Rand has been closed due to a service delivery protest. Metrorail Gauteng was forced to close when protesters invaded the station and set tyres alight on the railway lines. So Nana Zenani, Prasa spokesperson, is on the line. Nana, I hope you can hear us. Good morning to you. Talk to us about the situation. Thanks. What is the situation at the moment?
The situation at the moment is quite dire for operations. We've had to suspend operations between the Germiston and Knights line, but that creates then a knock-on effect, especially on Fontaine, as trains are piling up on that end. But what we also saw is the burning of tyres on the actual rail tracks, and our security personnel were able to apprehend some people disguised as service protesters, but who were starting to dig up electrical cables on the line.
Yeah. Any assessment right now as to the damage that's being caused? Because it sounds like this has been quite detrimental for the station and the rail lines.
The first part of the damage is, of course, the fact that our commuters cannot travel between Johannesburg and Pretoria, which is the urgent lines that we need for morning peak operations and, of course, afternoon. The second, of course, would be on the actual infrastructure itself, and understanding that Germiston, as a particular line, has had a lot of problems in terms of vandalism, and so it's already crippling an area that is an Achilles heel in terms of operation. So we will have to wait until everything has died down to look at the entire line on that area, to look at every single area in terms of even lines that have been cut maliciously and the station itself, which was vandalized.
Yeah.
And of course, we need to also do a tally in terms of the security personnel whose well-being was threatened by the morning, whether there's been any injuries. Although so far we haven't had a report of any injuries taking place.
Just, Nana, finally, I imagine that this is going to be closed for the rest of today and the foreseeable future. Will you be giving us an update as to when it can be opened? And obviously this is needed for commuters to try and find alternative methods to commute between the two stations. So any timelines in place?
It's difficult to put timelines in place, but what we always work towards as operations is to make sure that we open the line as quickly as possible, of course, with the understanding that safety precautions in terms of train travel movement, and try and avoid situations where even if the lines are open, that downstream there aren't any protesters who could stone the trains and injure passengers. But we would try and make sure that for the afternoon peak that the lines are open, because it creates even a bigger chaos if lines are closed for the entire day.
All right, Nana, let's leave it there for this morning. Nana Zenani, the Prasa spokesperson, talking to us about the situation on the railway between in Germiston and Pretoria, that's not working. It has been closed on Gauteng's East Rand due to service delivery protests. Let's wrap it up with a look at your market indicators now.